Good day, I'm Dr. Scott, your online headache doc. Welcome back to Relief at Last. What your doctor won't tell you about your migraines and your headaches. Those of you that have known me for any period of time and know my story, I myself battled debilitating migraines for years. And I was passed from doctor to doctor, specialist to specialist, chiropractor to chiropractor, neurologist to neurologist, all the test results seemingly normal, and receiving so many different types of treatment that sometimes would provide a little bit of relief, and at other times provided absolutely no relief whatsoever. We established with our three foundational principles that if you don't know the real true cause of your migraine and headache symptoms, chances are you may never experience any significant long-lasting relief, no matter what kind of treatment or therapy you try. If you don't know what you're trying to fix, you're never going to fix the problem, and you're never going to experience a happy, healthy, active lifestyle again, free from those limitations imposed by your migraines and your headaches. Today I want to discuss what I call equal opportunity skepticism. So, I was told by countless doctors that there really isn't a long-term solution for migraines and headaches, and that migraines just happen to some people, and at that point in time, I just happened to be one of those people, and you may feel the same way. So I became not only frustrated, I became angry that I couldn't get the answers that I was looking for. So I continued to seek opinion after opinion and ended up on the medical merry-go-round of trying this and trying that, trying this and trying that. That's what I want you to avoid today. So, if I were to tell you that there is, in fact, proven, long-lasting solutions for your migraines and headaches, would you be skeptical? Well, you should be. And I'm a skeptic by nature and definitely by virtue of my own personal experience. So, the first thing I'm going to discuss today is what is equal opportunity skepticism and why is it something that you should definitely have a healthy dose of? And then secondly, we'll discuss today two questions that you must absolutely positively ask your doctors, ask your therapists, and secondly, you must get a satisfactory answer to both of these questions in order to actually find this significant long-lasting relief that is available. But once again, you must become the expert. So, with all of the differing and usually conflicting professional opinions, how do you know who to believe? Who not to believe? Who's right? Who's wrong? Is anybody right? Is everybody wrong? So, equal opportunity skepticism is simply this. If your doctor has absolutely no idea what the real true cause of your migraine and headache symptoms is, turn and run the other way, because you are now the proverbial guinea pig. We're trying things out, hoping somehow that we're going to find the magic pill that gives you some kind of significant long-lasting relief. That's called guessing. And I will never guess when it comes to your health. So, if your doctor, your therapist, your healthcare provider doesn't even know the real true cause of your symptoms, you're probably not going to find any significant and certainly not long-lasting improvement. Secondly, if the treatment that your doctor or your healthcare provider continues to provide for your migraine and headache symptoms continues to fail time and time and time again, nothing seems to provide that significant long-lasting relief from your migraine and headache symptoms, run the other way. Because once again, that's guessing. And I'll tell you, in my more than 31 years in private practice experience, specializing exclusively in migraine and headache disorders, rarely if ever is guessing going to provide the answers and the long-term relief you're looking for. That's again what I call commonsensical medicine. If you don't know what you're trying to fix, you're not going to fix the problem. So, there are two, I think these are absolutely essential questions that you, yes, it's up to you, must ask your doctor or healthcare provider. And you must receive a satisfactory answer. Now, I totally understand. We are actually, from the time we're small, I like to use the word groomed. We're being groomed to never question our doctor's recommendations. Never question your doctor's advice. Because, after all, whatever you say, you're the doctor. The sixth most dangerous words when it comes to finding help for your migraines and headaches. Whatever you say, you're the doctor. After all, you went to doctor's school. So, a couple of things real quickly. First question is this. You need to be able to look your doctor, your healthcare provider in the eye. They work for you. I work for you. And say, Doctor, are you completely sure you know what's going on inside of my body that's causing my migraine and headache symptoms? That's a fair question. Hey, doctor, do you even know for sure what's going on in my body resulting in my migraine and headache symptoms? Shockingly, maybe not to some of you and certainly not to me, the answer to that question more times than not is, I'm not really sure. Or if you want to deflect the responsibility, instead of saying, I'm not sure, the answer is usually, well, we're not sure. In other words, the medical or healthcare community as a whole just doesn't know what's really causing your migraine and headache symptoms. Once again, we discussed last week, most healthcare providers of all specialties and all types are wearing their specialty goggles. They're only seeing your migraine and headache symptoms through their limited scope of practice, rather than taking a step back and looking at your condition from a broader perspective, from the perspective of different specialists and different specialties, all working together for your benefit. That's how it's supposed to be. But instead, our doctors, our therapists, our healthcare providers have become treatment technicians, matching your symptom with whatever pill, shot, or potion is designed to attempt to temporarily mask or manage your migraine and headache symptoms. Doctor, are you completely sure you know what's going on inside of my body that's actually causing my migraine and headache symptoms? Now, I totally get that that can be uncomfortable, but you've got to have the mindset that this is your health, this is your well-being, and your condition likely isn't going to improve unless the cause of your symptoms is identified with certainty and a plan put into place to address that cause once and for all. Now, if you are one of the lucky few that actually receive a true diagnosis, in other words, your doctor is actually able to not only state, but show you with certainty what's going on inside of your body resulting in your migraine and headache symptoms, if you're one of the lucky few. here's the second question you absolutely must ask your doctor or healthcare provider, and that is, Doctor, is the treatment that you're recommending for me actually going to address this real cause of my migraines and headaches? Or is this just another attempt to temporarily mask my symptoms? Is this going to address the true cause of my migraine and headache symptoms, or is this just another temporary cover-up at best? So, I've said over and over, the purpose of this podcast, at least a major part of it, is if you're going to get significant, long-lasting relief from your migraines and your headaches, you and you alone must take responsibility, and you must become the expert. And we'd like to think that we can rely on our doctor's professional opinions, but they all seem to differ, and many of them seem to conflict. And by the way, speaking of conflicting opinions, nobody has more conflicting opinions than the recognized expert on migraines and headaches, Dr. Google. Dr. Google has mountains upon mountains of conflicting information about not only the cause of your migraines and headaches, but all of the countless hundreds and thousands of different ways to treat or manage your symptoms, all the while continuing to ignore the real true cause. So, let me give you a summary of the absolutely essential facts that you must remember from today's episode. And that is this: you must carry with you at all times and when making important decisions about your health care, and especially the health of your family and those you care about. That healthy dose of skepticism, equal opportunity skepticism, is well justified since your doctor and your healthcare provider works for you. And you must be provided with the answers that allow you to make the best decision for your health. And in my humble opinion, finding and fixing the cause is the only way. Trying things out, hoping for some kind of long-lasting relief, never leads toward a significant long-lasting solution in most cases. Now, let me caution you. I highly encourage equal opportunity skepticism, but so many doctors, so many healthcare providers, for whatever reason, maybe it's their insecurity, maybe it's arrogance, maybe it's ignorance, maybe they just don't know, or maybe it's a combination of arrogance and ignorance. Some healthcare providers, some doctors, and some specialists feel the need to criticize other healthcare providers, especially things that may potentially be considered alternative, which we will discuss in more detail in the coming weeks, because my definition of alternative medicine is probably much different and probably much more appropriate than your doctor's definition of alternative healthcare. Most doctors will say that anything other than traditional drug therapy, pills, shots, and potions, must be considered alternative, when in my mind, pills, shots, potions, things that are designed to attempt to temporarily mask your symptoms, that should be an alternative, not mainstream and the quote-unquote accepted form of treatment for your migraine and headache symptoms. Yet, we've been convinced somehow by our doctors, by the pharmaceutical industry, that that is your only option. If you're not taking medicine, something must be wrong with you. When in fact, pumping your body full of foreign chemical drugs day after day after day does not make you healthier. It simply makes you drug dependent. And that doesn't lead you toward a long-term solution or significant long-lasting relief from your migraines and your headaches. So don't let your equal opportunity skepticism turn into bias. Because a bias, and believe me, they're present and they are prominent in the healthcare and medical industry especially, bias can keep you from getting the help that you really need and that, quite frankly, that I think you deserve. So skepticism is highly encouraged, especially if, number one, your doctor doesn't even know with certainty what's going on inside of your body that's causing your migraine and headache symptoms. And number two, if the treatment your doctor or healthcare provider is giving you is not even addressing that cause once and for all. You better be skeptical. So, what's my recommendation today? What's the action that you can take? We talked a couple of weeks ago about getting a true diagnosis. You've got to know what's going on inside of your body resulting in your migraine and headache symptoms. If you haven't, you've got to review your own medical records under the section that says diagnosis. And if you have a false diagnosis or a medical diagnosis that simply says, hey, you've got migraines, or hey, you've got headaches, or you've got pain, that is not a diagnosis. That is a regurgitation of your symptoms. You've got to know the real true cause of your symptoms before you can proceed beyond that point. Because if you don't know what's causing your symptoms, then we don't know what method or methods, what treatment or treatments, what specialty, or more likely, what specialties should be customized and personalized for you that will actually address the cause of your symptoms once and for all. Commonsensical medicine. We have a huge announcement upcoming in the next week or two. I want you to join me in the coming weeks. Please put these steps into action. You must become the expert in order for you to be able to take the appropriate action and actually lead yourself in a direction toward experiencing that proven, significant, long-lasting relief. I was lucky when I was much younger to find a specialist who has actually molded and shaped my practice over the last nearly 31 and a half years. If you don't know the cause, you're on the merry-go-round, and I hate to say this, it gets very difficult. The longer you're on the medical merry-go-round of trying things out, the harder it is to get off. Remember, if you continue to look in the same place, you're always going to find the same thing. You need to look in the right place to find the real true cause of your migraine and headache symptoms and have a multi-specialty migraine and headache specialist guide you along the way. And secondly, if you continue to try the same methods of treatment over and over and over, you're going to continue to get the same dismal, failing results. Please, I encourage you to like this podcast, to follow this podcast, and as I always say, most importantly, please share this with someone you know or someone you care about that continues to battle ongoing migraines or headaches of any type, who may feel as if they've tried everything with little or possibly no significant long-lasting relief. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to visiting with you next week. I'm Dr. Scott, your online headache doc. Those are the facts. And everything else, well, that's just another opinion. The information contained in this podcast is not meant to substitute for your doctor or healthcare provider's advice or recommendations. It is based on Dr. Scott's more than 31 years of private practice experience so far, specializing exclusively in migraine, headache, and chronic pain disorders, as well as decades upon decades of proven, published medical research. Thank you for listening. Copyright 2024, Milagros Media.